Welcome back to another episode of the Dokkan free-to-play series. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series so far. In this episode, we're actually going to be talking about the units that we talked about last time. However, we are going to be talking about their EZAs, their passives, team comps for the EZAs, and all of that. So without further ado, let's just talk about the team comp and what team you should be running for this EZA. All the units we will be using for this event are units that we already have or units that we got from last week. We will not be using any units from all the way in the past, so do not worry. The 6 units that you'll be taking to this EZA event is Candy Vegito, Hacchan and 17, Goten Ghost, Kid Trunks, Pan and Grandpa Gohan, and lastly Deborah. All these units are from last week, so you do not need to worry about that. Of course, when it comes to this EZA event, it would be a lot easier if you did have B-Pan, but not everyone has B-Pan if they're starting out. So I decided not to use her to see if it was possible to complete the event without her, and surprisingly it is. So this is how I did it, and I'm going to explain it to all of you. When it comes to this team, there isn't a very good leader skill. Most units have either category specific leader skills or their leader skill isn't good enough, but after thinking about it for a while, I've decided that Candy Vegito probably has the best leader skill out of all 6 of them. His leader skill is attack and defense plus 10% per key spear obtained. It is not the best, however it does work in this situation. If your unit could grab a lot of key spears, then you are looking good. If you get about 5-10 of them, you're looking at 50% to 100%, and that's just good enough. And when it comes to the actual events, we're actually going to work on it backwards. We're going to start with stage 7 with Hacchan and Android 17, move to stage 6 with Pan and Grandpa Gohan, stage 5 with Kid Trunks, and then we're going to go all the way to stage 2 for Ghost and Trunks, and lastly we're going to finish with Candy Vegito. The reason we're going to do it in this order is because Hacchan and Android 17 is probably the best unit for the event and we're going to need him to complete all the other events. He can tank anything, so if you have him right there to tank whatever shots, if you have 3 attacks in the same turn, boom, he tanks them all, you're looking good. So if we can get him ready, and we should be good. Once we have Hacchan and Android 17, it is a cake roll. They will never get hurt because they are going to have guard and they're going to be looking fantastic. Even with super attacks that only take about 10k. The next tank we got is going to actually be Deborah. I know I clowned on him last episodes, but after using him, he's actually very good. In this event, he actually decides to tank everything. He's not going to get anything more than triple digits, which is actually very good. The next character I want to talk about is actually the Ghost and Gotenks, which is actually the 3rd best character on here because he does heal. And when I mean he heals, I mean he really heals. If you get him a bunch of rainbow key orbs, you are looking fantastic. This guy could heal from almost a quarter of your health to full, and that's just how good he is even before the EZA. So those 3 are the main MVPs when it comes to these events. If you have those 3 on the first rotation or the second rotation, you are looking good. If you get either of them in the 3rd rotation or on the 8th slot, it's going to be kind of difficult, but you should be fine just how it is. The next character I want to talk about is Pan and Grandpa Gohan. This isn't their team. They're not going to do well. They're going to get hit for a lot even after they attack, and it's going to hurt. So when it comes to Grandpa Gohan and Pan, if there is a slot where no one is hitting, make sure to put them in that slot. And if they're hitting all the slots, then just put them in the last rotation. You want to make sure they're not on rotation. You just don't want them in the team at all. The second or the 4th, 5th unit I want to talk about is actually the Kid Trunks. The Kid Trunks is special because he does get hit a lot. However, if he decides to super 2-3 times, you will be maxed on defense, and it's great. So as long as you could get Trunks to super before he gets hit, you are gonna be fine. He'll probably take a couple 100,000 damage, but nothing too crazy. And lastly, it comes with this Candy Vegito. Before he's EZA, it's a ballpark because you don't know if he's going to dodge, if he's going to take 100,000 damage. So I kind of don't like risking it with Candy Vegito. So if I can, I'll have him off rotation, but if I really need to, if they're hitting one slot, one hit, make sure to put him in that slot. You don't want to get hit 3 or 4 times with this guy, because even if he dodges once, he won't dodge the other times. So don't trust Candy Vegito as much as the Hacchan and Android 17 or the Deborah. So in conclusion, this is how I would run it. If you have Android 17 and Hacchan with Deborah, that is a very good partnership right there. And on the other rotation, if you had Kid Trunks and Gotenks and Ghost, that is another brilliant rotation right there. And of course, you'll obviously rotate out the friend leader, you'll rotate out Grandpa Gohan and Pan, and then you'll obviously rotate out Candy Vegito if possible. So if it's possible to rotate them out, make sure you get them out of the team, but if not, make sure you keep at least Hacchan and Android 17 in there, Deborah, and Gotenks. That's probably all the advice I got. It is very RNG heavy, it is very luck based, so if you're lucky with all these rotations, all these bots, you'll be just fine. Other than that, that's all I could give you, so let's talk about the characters. The first unit I do want to talk about is Hacchan and Android 17, since it is the first EZA you should be getting. Most of the units stay the same, there is slightly differences, so I won't be talking about the similarities, so I'll mostly just talk about the super attacks, the leader skills, and the passives, because the link skills, the categories stay the same. Leader skill is still Android's category plus 3 key attack, HP, defense 77%. However, there is an additional physical type key plus 3 HP, attack, and defense 50%. So that's actually very good. We do get the physical instead of just the androids. With the super attack, it stays almost the same. I think it is exactly the same. It's going to be raises attack for 1 turn and causes a high chance of stunning the enemy, which I'm pretty sure what it was last time. And the passive will be different. It obviously is going to be boosted up, so let's go through that. Attack and defense 125%, which is actually very good, especially since before the EZA it was only 80%, so a big boost, about 45. Plus an additional attack and defense 80%. Chance of performing a critical hit 25%, and it reduces damage received by 25% when HP is 80% or less. Also continuing it from last time, it is going to be guard all attack for 8 turns, which we knew, and after the 8 turns you will get an additional attack and defense plus 80%, which he also has a medium chance of additional attack. Of course, we also have the recovers HP with Candy, just like all the other units, but overall it is very good. We do get an additional attack and defense, very big boost, about 40-50% almost. So this unit is just very good. Everything about it just gets so much better. Probably one of the most defensive free-to-play units we've ever had in Dokkan. This unit's just a 10 out of 10. It's just super good. So let's just talk about the next unit. The next unit we're going to be talking about is going to be Grandpa Gohan and Pan. Just like the other units, this unit does get an upgrade, a buff, and it is very good, especially if you're running them on a Goku's family team. Of course, like the other ones, the link skills and the categories stay the same. However, we do see changes in the leader skill, super attack, and passive skill. The leader skill is still Kamehameha category plus 3 key, attack, HP, defense 77%, but we also get an additional leader skill is going to be STR, strength type plus 3 key, attack, HP, defense 50%. A big part of the super attack is last time it was a defense for 1 turn. This time it is going to be raise attack and defense for 1 turn. So we do get attack and defense on the super attack. The passive is almost identical, only with a couple buffs. You are going to get attack 100%, unlike before it was attack 80%, and plus you get a great chance of an additional attack 100%, defense 50%, which each super attack performed up to 100%, which is a lot better from the previous 80% and 20% on defense. Staying the same as before, if you have that Goku's family category ally attacking on the same turn, you are going to get 3 plus key with attack and defense 50%. Of course, like the others, you also get the recovers HP with Candy. That is really all for this unit. It's a lot better than what it previous was, but it still isn't one of the best ones on here. So let's get to talk about the other one. The next unit on our list is going to be the Kid Trunks Great Saiyaman. This one is very decent, but not the best character, but not the worst. It is mid. It is very decent, especially with the EZA. So let's talk about this guy. Of course, just like the other ones, the link skills and the categories stay the same. So we're going to talk about the leader, super attack, and passive. Leader skill is the same, youth category plus 3 key, attack, health, and defense 77%. However, it does get an additional AGL type key plus 3, attack, HP, defense 50%. Like before, his super attack will raise your defense, and this time it is going to be a little different. It is going to lower the defense of the enemy as well. There's a lot more to his passive, so it's going to be attack and defense plus 90%, plus an additional attack 7% up to 77%, and a chance to perform a critical hit 7% up to 49%, which I believe is the same as last time. The unit passive stays the same with the 3 key, you do get an additional, a 5 key, you get the additional. However, this one, if you get 7 key, you do get the other additional. So if you get 7 key, you're going to attack 3 times, and there is a chance it becomes a super attack. As well with all the other units, you also recover HP with Candy. So if you you guys could get a lot of orbs with this guy, it is a very good unit, and I recommend going for him. The next unit on our list is going to be the Super Saiyan Gotenks and Ghost. This unit is probably one of my favorite just because Gotenks is one of my favorite characters of all time, as well as Dokkan actually gave him a very decent card. So let's go over it, and hopefully you like them as much as I do. Of course, the link skills and the categories are going to be the same as last episode, so if you want to see those, go check out the last episode, and we're going to talk about the little differences in the EZAs. Like the other ones, the leader skill is the same fusions category plus 3, attack, HP, defense 77%, but does get the additional int type key 3, HP, attack, defense 50%. The super attack is exactly the same, however this time it is going to greatly raise attack and defense. Don't ask me what that means. It means something, but it greatly raises attack and defense instead of just regularly. As well as this unit also has a high chance of stunning the enemy, which is one of my favorite parts. The passive is almost the same, but does give a little more HP. So randomly changes key orbs to rainbow key, which is actually very, very good. A unit like that could go really good on any team. The attack and defense plus 7% per key orb obtained. That does not have to be a rainbow key orb, it just has to be any key orb, and after every key orb it is going to recover 9,999 HP, which is actually a good amount. If you get about 10 key orbs, you're looking at a lot of heals, which is very, very good. HP, attack, and defense 30% per rainbow key orb obtained. So every time you get a rainbow key orb obtained, your attack and defense going up 30%, as well as all the other ones. Candy, you do raise your HP, so that is also very, very good. But overall, Gotenks is literally one of my favorite ones on here. It's not one of the best ones, but it's one of my favorite ones. Hopefully you guys enjoy it too, so I recommend getting this one as well. Very, very good, very, very decent. So let's head into the last character. The last character of the episode is actually going to be Candy Vegito. Yup, Candy Vegito, one of the legends in this game, one of the funniest memes in this game. Obviously he does have an EZA, so let's talk about it. Of course, like the other units, we are going to talk about the links of the categories. If you want to know about that, make sure to look at last week's episode, but let's talk about the little differences. And when I mean little differences, I mean little differences, because there is hardly anything different from its previous to its EZA, so let's talk about it. Its leader skill went from attack and defense to 10% to 20% per key orb. So not only are you getting 10% per key orb, now you're getting 20, which is probably one of the worst leader skills I've ever seen, but it is what it is. The super attack is honestly the same. There's one slight difference, so I'm going to read both of them and tell me what you find different. The first one raises attack and defense and causes supreme damage with a medium chance of stunning the enemy. And then the next one raises attack and defense, causes supreme damage with a high chance of stunning the enemy. It's the exact same thing, however, it's just a higher chance of stunning the enemy. I mean, stunning is very, very decent, but like, what is it? You didn't even, I mean, alright. You know what? It's super, I guess. Lastly, the passive, just like the other ones, it hardly changes. There's literally one word, or I guess one number difference. Let me read it. Obviously a great chance of evading enemy attacks, however I don't see it most of the times. It disables the enemy's guard, which is actually pretty decent in most events. And this is the difference. Attack and defense 20% per tech key orb. Think about it. Previously it was 10%, now it's up to 20%. That is the only difference between the two. Not even the 10% defense per non-tech orb. No, not even that. That one stays the same. Of course, he also recovers HP Candy, but it's sad to see that Vegito didn't get a lot different. It's just like a couple words different, like a number difference. Compared to other ones like Hacchan and Gotenks, Trunks, this is kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. Honestly, I probably still get them just for the meme, just because, you know, Candy Vegito. But it's sad to see that it isn't a much more powerful unit. Of course, EZA did come out about 2 years ago, so it is kind of old, so I guess that does make sense. Who knows, maybe we get an EZA on an EZA, who knows. I don't know what Dokkan plans to do with those, but anyway, let's get into the outro. Well, hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I actually had a blast making this episode, so let me know in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and tell me if you want me to keep going with this channel. But in other words, you know how it is. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.